Hi, my name is Rachel Huggins, and I will be presenting today on Dr. Brian A. Iwata. Dr. Iwata holds his PhD from the University of Florida, and he is currently a professor of psychology and psychiatry at the University of Florida. Dr. Iwata received his bachelor's degree from Loyola College. He continued to Florida State University to earn his master's degree in psychology and his PhD in clinical and school psychology. He is currently still an active researcher in the field of applied behavior analysis. Dr. Iwata was named a distinguished professor at Florida State University. Today, he continues teaching and mentoring doctoral students. Dr. Iwata has received much formal recognition of his achievements. The following are some of the most notable awards. In 2015, he received the Gold Medal for Lifetime Achievement in the Application of Psychology from the American Psychological Association. In 2002, he received the Award for Outstanding Research Contributions. Also in 2002, he received the Award for Outstanding Contributions to Behavior Analysis. In 1997, he received the D.F. Hake Award for Distinguished Contributions to Basic and Applied Research. And in 1996, he received the Award for Distinguished Contributions to Public Service from the Association of Behavior Analysis. Some of Dr. Iwata's other involvements included: he was the editor of the Journal for Applied Behavior Analysis. He was the president of the Association for Behavior Analysis, the president of the Society for the Advancement of Behavior Analysis, and the president of the Florida Association for Behavior Analysis. Some of Dr. Iwata's areas of research include functional or experimental analysis, extinction, and reinforcement. The first article that I chose to review is Dr. Iwata's most well-known study toward a functional analysis of self-injury. He examined 9 students that engaged in similar topographies of self-injury. Until this experiment, multiple treatments for self-injury were proposed. The treatments were usually effective with only a portion of participants. Dr. Iwata developed an operant methodology for examining the variables maintaining self-injury. The concept was that there were conditions set up to mimic variables in the natural environment. The researcher would set the occasion for limited or no attention, high academic demands, or denied access to a preferred item. Upon challenging behaviors, the researchers would give in and provide the variable that was being withheld. Responses were recorded and analyzed by participant and condition. The result was variable responding across conditions. Students were engaging in different amounts of challenging behavior depending on the condition. This opened the door for future research on how this information was to be used. Today, behavior analysts are still designing functional analysis for their clients. The information has allowed professionals to determine the variables maintaining self-injury to create a more effective treatment plan. The research challenged behavior analysts to consider the function of a child's behavior when developing treatment over the topography. Dr. Iwata also examined extinction and what makes extinction effective. This study also involved students who engaged in self-injurious behaviors. Dr. Iwata proposed that extinction must be specific to the variables maintaining self-injury for it to be effective. For example, if self-injury was maintained by social positive attention, then the extinction must be from social positive attention. Escape extinction would not be effective and would leave the variable maintaining self-injury in place. The table on this slide shows the functional variations of extinctions. On the left side, you will see the variable maintaining self-injury. On the top, you can find the extinction condition and see whether it would be appropriate for treatment, whether it would be contradictory, or whether it would be irrelevant. After the functional analysis had received attention on its effectiveness for preparing effective treatment plans, the question was asked, is this practical to complete in a typical setting? Dr. Iwata used graduate and undergraduate students to demonstrate that a 2-hour training was enough to prepare graduate students to run a successful functional analysis. This provided evidence for school systems and other facilities hesitant to take on this method. Dr. Iwata contributed a literature review on negative reinforcement. This served as a guide for what had been researched, what practices were effective, and what needed further review. This document could serve as a resource for someone who is wanting to learn more about negative reinforcement. Some of the questions that were addressed were, how are the undesirable behaviors maintained by negative reinforcement? How do we treat these behaviors? And using negative reinforcement in therapy. Dr. Iwata also developed the self-injury trauma scale as a way of quantifying the effects of self-injury. Scores are recovered based on the visible marks left from self-injury. The form assesses self-injury by recording a general description of the healed injuries, what self-injurious behaviors the child engages in, the number of injuries, the type of injury, such as laceration or contusion, severity of the injury, and location of the injury on the individual's body. 35 participants were involved in this study and scored using the self-injury trauma scale by 2 independent observers. High inter-rater reliability indicated that this scale could be a tool when needing to collect data on self-injury. The following are my references for this presentation. Thank you for your time.